Is an exciting art gallery featuring the art of over 30 Texas artists. Stacy Watkins, owner and featured artist, uses mixed mediums of fused glass, metal painting, resin to create her works of fantasy. Per Southern Living magazine, this new medium is a must-see. In our art shows, you will also view the gallery's many other top artists creating their original one-of-a-kind artworks. Artists like Aaron Tate's Blown Glass, metal artist Terry Jones, one of U.S.'s top watercolorists Soon Young Warren, Woman of the West artist Sharon Markwart, and Polly Giselle and her hand-carved glass.
Hi, I'm Stacy Watkins, and I'm here with Don Wall at your private collection art gallery on the square in Granbury. And Don is our featured artist this month. Don has a variety of mediums that he partakes in, and we're going to show you a few today. He not only does stone sculpture, he does painting and wood carving. So Don, can you tell us a little bit about?
Sure. This is an example of a stone that's worked almost exclusively with a hammer and a point. The point is the #1 shaping tool in stone, just like the gouge is the #1 shaping tool for wood sculpture. And as you can tell, it is just a continuous hammering of the surface and shaping away the parts that you don't want to get to an abstract form. This is local stone. It's a local limestone. It's incredibly hard, but it works very, very true, and it ends up a very beautiful stone. If this were polished, you'd probably be able to see the striations in it the way that it was formed, because it used to be mud, and then heat and pressure gradually turned this into limestone.
And didn't you say when you were carving this you actually had sparks because it's such a hard stone? It
is an incredibly hard stone, probably a lot of flint or a lot of flint-like formations in it.
Wow, that is amazing. What was your inspiration for, how did you get started in doing stone?
The way that I got started in stone is I happened to see a film from the Art Students League in New York City on Jose de Kreeft, who was a direct stone carver. I was in the Navy at the time, and so I contacted the sculpture house in New York City and got a set of tools. This was about 25, 30 years ago, and at that point I started just playing with them. So I've been doing it ever since.
Yeah.
Yes. But I really enjoyed watching him work and his involvement.
Oh, I bet. Yeah.
This is another example of direct stone carving, and you can see the marks of the points, the primary forming tool, and in some cases you'll see marks of a pick, which I use to do some shaping. And then you come back and you use the bullnose chisels, the tooth chisels, and then you use rasp and rifflers. And I don't take it too far. I could polish it to a very, very fine polish, but I kind of like to leave these rough.
I like this look.
Yeah,
it's really nice.
This was intended as a garden sculpture for a cactus garden, a southwestern garden.
How long did it take you to complete this one?
Off and on, probably, if I compress the time, I could probably do it in a summer.
Wow.
In 3 months.
Oh, wow.
From just a stone block.
Yeah, and that's just from a
And the way that the direct carving works is I'll start off basically with a head and let the head do the proportions, and then I'll slowly adjust everything and work myself down.
That's great.
This is just an amalgam of wood pieces with a little piece of stone. This is called Amazonia. And I actually put that over, I had drilled a hole in there for some kind of an experiment that, well, I got to cover that hole, so I carved a fish. And these are little piranhas on both sides.
Is this stone right here?
No, that's wood.
That's wood that you put, that's great.
I do a lot of whittling, and basically the whittling, it may be a model for a larger piece of sculpture, or it's just an experiment in the material itself, but this is what came out of it. This is a piece of redwood, and this is a piece of mahogany.
That's wonderful.
And
that's great.
Of course, I've always been fascinated by other cultures and the way that they, live with the land and with the forest and so forth.
Speaking of you being interested in other cultures, he shows that in his paintings. It comes out like this one right here. Can you tell us a little bit about your painting?
Yes, that is based on a story that was told by Dr. Earl Powell in a survey course on European painting. And it was about the artist J.M.W. Turner. And he was talking about Turner's eccentricity and how he got very close to his canvas on glazing days and glazed with his thumb. And of course, I used an example of the Fighting Temeraire being told to its last berth to be broken up because it's the most famous painting according to the British Survey in the Tate Gallery in London.
That's great. Many of his paintings tell stories.
Yes.
And that's the neat and unique thing about your work, because it's not just a pretty painting, it has a lot of depth in it.
Thank you. Yeah, I make a lot of paintings about paintings.
Yes.
You know, about art itself.
And a lot of different forms or techniques, I guess you'd say, of painting, not just.
Yeah, because you learn a little something. You know, his painting was so abstract in a way.
Like this one, for instance. I mean, that's amazing. Your pointillism technique that you did, and
yes.
Your inspiration for this piece. Who was that?
The pointillist Georges Seurat, who did he was the French painter, lived about to the age of 36, but he did the Les Grands Jattes, and did some circus paintings, and he was a very rigid color theorist, and he broke up his colors into little points of paint.
Wow.
Of course, he exclusively used oils. This is acrylic, but acrylic is a real good medium to use. And I'm thinking about doing some very big paintings where I'll do a field of color, and then I begin to cut, and I can explode it out and put a subsurface underneath that projects it out so that you've got a three-dimensional surface that has this on it.
Well, I'm excited to see that.
Yes, yes.
Do you give workshops, Don?
I can. What I'd like to do is bring people in and let them use their own curiosity and their path and just help them develop their own creativity and their own pathway.
Right.
Because to me, the enduring value of art is it's a process of self-revelation.
Yeah, within.
It's a self-discovery. And everybody's got a talent. Everybody's got a style.
Yes.
If you can just bring it out of them.
Right.
That's the thing.
And it just you
Yes.
have to keep on working to find
That's right.
it. Yeah.
That's right. Okay.
Don, what is the name of this painting?
This is Down by the River, and then in parentheses, Americana.
Oh.
And it's about, you know, the eccentricity and the uniqueness of the American character, and it's also kind of an homage to the great 19th century painters like Winslow Homer, Thomas Eakins, the illustrators Frederick Remington and Charles M. Russell. But it just combines some of the stuff that you saw in the 19th century, the love of circus, the genteel people fishing down by the river, the photographer, the Indian posing. You know, they're all just meant to give a kind of an overview of American society and what we were doing in the 19th century.
And down here now,
these children, of course, they're going to grow up to be in the First World War. You know, we're going to be sucked into 20th century reality, and the clown is kind of meant to be in some ways a kind of a harbinger of destiny. You know, he's with the kids, but in another way, you know, he's kind of like the tarot card.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
So that's the reason for the reflection that they're going to change.
Piece, and it's also done in the pointillism in your.
Yes.
Yeah, you see the influence of Strauss.
Yes.
Yes. In this one also.
But again, I was trying to give a little bit of the way that Thomas Eakins worked,
right?
And what, you know, because he used photographs a lot in his work, and he was very precise, and also kind of an homage to Winslow Homer.
Great. All right, we're going to walk back, and Dawn is going to do a demonstration for us today. We're so blessed that you're here, and we're so excited to see he's going to do some rock blasting. Is that what you call it, rock blasting?
I just call it stone carving or
stone carving?
chopping, yes.
Okay, all right, we'll come back.
I'll just make messes.
Let's take a look. Do you go out and search for the stone that you want to use exactly, like do you go and
in some
chisel
cases, And of course, now National Stone in Dallas, they get big blocks of the Indiana limestone and they saw it off to do a stone for buildings. And their excess, you know, they will fill up this alleyway in a week. And they want people to come and pick.
They want you to come get the stone.
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
Where's this at now?
It is National Stone in Dallas, Texas.
Okay, I'll remember that.
There's I think I've heard of a place in Colorado too.
Yeah.
So you don't work off of a picture or anything. You just do your own interpretation of this is going to be a horse.
Now I will refer occasionally to books and take some measurements. I've got some calipers and I may make a drawing if I think, well, you know, this is a little bit long or something, so maybe I need to make a correction. And so I think about the form at that point and then go back to it.
Wow.
So, but it helps the memory.
Right.
You know, it's a memory thing.
Right.
But this is kind of the pace that I work. And I was going to bring some sandbags. A sandbag is a good thing to have because if you've got an irregular piece, you can lay it there and kind of shape it around and it absorbs the blows of the piece. And this is another good, it kind of grips and then your dust will fall down in this and it kind of holds the piece. But this tool will clean up a surface.
How long have you studied this?
Well, I've been interested in it since I was a kid. And I worked for the Harry Ransom Center for the Humanities at UT when I was going there, and they housed the Missioner Collection. One year we got an exhibit from ancient Egypt, and we uncrated. Of course, you have to take photographs at every step of uncrating. And we get down to a limestone carving that was done 4,000 years ago, and you see the chisel marks on the place.
So
that workman quit that 4,000 years ago. It was a beautiful piece of work, you know, that you could see.
You could feel the energy in it?
Yes.
Wow,
yes.
That would be amazing.
Time is nothing, you know.
Well, Don, it's been great seeing how you do your work and giving us some information about your techniques, and we're excited to see the rest of your stuff at your private collection art gallery here on the square. Don's one of our new artists, and he will, I'm sure, keep us very entertained, and he has wonderful stories about all of his paintings and about all of his pieces, and is a very deep artist, and it's a pleasure.